And it's time for your Gianna Volpe report, brought to you in part by Village Overhead Door in Southold, by the Duncan Inn in Jamesport, by the Peconic Cellar Door in Peconic, and by the Crazy Fork in Mattituck. Good morning, Gianna.
Good morning, Bruce. And mentioning the Crazy Fork, we've got the comedy show coming there tomorrow night, in the right across the street from the Mattituck Plaza in Mattituck. Also tomorrow night, the South Brooklyn Gustatorial Society members of
South Fork, what?
The South Brooklyn Gustatorial Society.
The who?
And so we've got Vito Pietanza on with us to explain exactly. Bruce is like, what? The what? Good morning, Vito.
Good morning, Gianna, and good morning, Bruce.
How are you?
I'm fine.
South
Bruce.
Brooklyn, let me see.
South Brooklyn.
Marine Park, Benson, Bay Ridge.
How about
Sheepshead
Carroll
Bay?
Gardens here?
Carroll
Gardens, slightly off Brooklyn Heights, about a mile away from the Brooklyn Bridge.
Uh-huh.
So
but I didn't think that was...
about the half of the society comes out in early August every year, and they get to kind of go wild in Nick Ranieri's amazing garden. I just did a piece on the garden for the Sag Harbor Express, for which I've been documenting with Marianne Pietanza Clunan for the Smithsonian Institute Community of Gardens. And actually in that article, I make a comparison between Nick and Claudia Purita at One Woman Wines. And it's interesting because when everyone comes out, they're going to be going to One Woman for the afternoon, and then afterward, tell me a little bit about about the South Brooklyn Gustatorial Society, who you are, and what you'll be doing tomorrow, what you do every year.
The South Brooklyn Gustatorial Society is a group that's emanated here in the early 70s. Friends here that we have kept in touch with all of these years and meet several times a year for dinner. But the first weekend of August is always in Southold, and we pick a winery to meet. This year, for the second year, we are going to be meeting at the One Woman Winery. After that, here we are going to, as you said, Nick Ranieri's garden. Nick Ranieri is a farmer by birth, an electrician here by trade, and now in retirement he is spending his full time gardening, growing here the type of vegetables and fruits here that were customary in our hometown in Italy, in Mola, in the region of Puglia in Italy. And he has this mini farm which replicates the huge farms or the larger farms that we had in Mola. And we will be enjoying here his vegetables, his fruits, his berries, and anything else here that we can pick off the ground which is ripe.
And you said that'll be just about everything.
He will have nothing ripe and left here by the time here that about 18 of us, 20 of us leave his garden.
And so you'll prepare it, everyone gets together, all the members?
Well, tomorrow night here after the garden, we will be walking out here with a lot of the foods that we're going to be cooking here the day after. But tomorrow evening we will be having dinner over at my house in Southold, 18 or 20 of us. And on Saturday we'll be cooking those vegetables here in Shelter Island, in the home of Tom MacMahon and Linda Gibbs. Wow. In Shelter Island, who have opened up their home, their huge kitchen, and are very welcoming. And we will be preparing the food ourselves here. About 10 or 15 of us here will be around the kitchen table, around the preparing all of the food here that will be cooked.
So pretty high profile, the people on Shelter Island. Is the group full of high profile people as well?
Well, I don't know what you mean by high profile. Here we have people here that are professionals in some areas, and people that are just basic workers, and we're all proud of them. We have former commissioner of OEM in the city of New York, Joseph Bruno, that is from East Quogue, or has a second home in East Quogue. He and his wife, Joanne, have been part of our group here forever. And
they fight with you over doing the dishes at the end?
Oh, Joanne and I here have had this perennial how should I say, disagreement as to who has to take over the washing the dishes here in the sink. But Joanne always seems to win.
Do you guys have a dish that you make every summer, and how long have you been doing this?
Well, we've been doing this here for about 5 years, but we have been doing this here for 20 plus years in Brooklyn, cooking from scratch.
Right.
Do we have a particular dish? Primarily local food, whether it be vegetables, clams, local clams here, barbecuing, cuddlefish here that we bring from Brooklyn here, which is called in Italian seppie. Shrimp, and then
the cuddlefish. How do you eat that? They've got the little legs, right?
Very little legs here. A very tender type of fish here. That if you were to slice that, you could eat it raw. Especially the small ones that we will have tomorrow evening could be eaten raw. In place of other raw fish that we eat, like tentacles of calamari, which are curled up, very tender, and they can be eaten raw. We could compete with the sushi when it comes here to raw fish.
Yes. Are you going to be picking anything up from the Southold Fish Market or from Bari?
Yes, I have an order of clams here from the Southold Fish Market, and Charlie has been always wonderful.
Oh, great.
In many ways. And so I picked up clams last weekend, and clams this afternoon I'll be picking up and preparing them to bake them. Clams arruganato.
Amazing. So we've got one woman wines, I'm guessing, at the dinner. We've got Charlie at Southold Fish Market. We've got Nick Ranieri and his garden, which I guess is going to make up the bulk of the meal.
Yes, it will be. You know that Nick Ranieri with his garden has almost won the nomination here to the Smithsonian Italian Garden Project.
Right.
He is so, I was saying earlier that he is so particular in preparing and cultivating here his land that the Italian Garden Project, which is headed by Mary Meniti from California, will be nominating him, or has nominating him, to be in the Smithsonian.
Right.
And mind you, the Italian Garden Project welcomes many gardeners, not only those that of Nick Ranieri's size, but small backyard garden.
Right. Even in the city.
In the city, and even some of the gardeners, so-called gardeners, that do not have any land,
right,
that grow tomatoes, grow peaches in pots, grow cucumbers. They do not have soil. However, pots is the way to continue that cultivation here.
It's amazing. It's amazing how right. It's amazing how it doesn't matter how little space you have. You know, a lot of these gentlemen and ladies from the old world making it work, even if they don't have the land, in apartments, in rooftops in the city. Nick must have been so excited coming out here and having a little bit of land, and it's it's just wild how on the little plot of land that does have, he's got, he had like almost an entire lemon grove, like almost nearly 20 trees, like
small lemon
inside,
groves, peaches, walnuts,
right,
and artichokes.
He has the almonds.
Artichokes are almost impossible to grow in this cold winter climate. However, he has mastered it in such a way that the cold climate here does not affect the very delicate artichoke plant here, which is very susceptible to a frost when it gets to 40 degrees.
And for Nick, that's like a very personal thing. His artichokes, because he said it's not as easy to grow artichokes in Mola anymore, but that the region was known for it at one time.
Yes.
So his ability to make the artichoke thrive is a very personal victory for him.
Gianna, you mentioned before that not only men but women are the ones here that are cultivating gardens. Excuse me. A lot of the spouses are the ones here that are keeping the gardens, small gardens, going in order to remember that parsley and that bay leaves here that they could have just by walking outside 10 feet and adding that here into their Sunday red sauce or using them for any other matter. So women have been instrumental in keeping this garden tradition here in New York.
I know Nick's wife, she is always anxious, we're over there taking pictures. She wants to get to work jarring the artichokes.
Artichokes here, tomatoes here, peaches, string beans, and jarring almost anything here.
Yeah.
Or turning that into a marmalade. And jarring that here for the winter months, or the peppers or the eggplants here.
So important in areas where that's so farm centric, where there's so much fresh food, and the idea is, it's winter, nothing's in season now. Well, that's when you break out, your artichokes in the vinegar with the hot. I know she does it with hot peppers and garlic. I remember Nick grabbing the myrtle plants, and he said this myrtle plant went from hotel room windowsill to windowsill, came around the country to live here, and this we used to use to put in when preserving the olives.
Yes.
So it's like every little plant, and it's not as, I guess, anesthetic or something. There's less separation than you would imagine in other more commercial gardens. Where I remember in the greenhouse in the winter, you'd move aside a lemon tree leaf, and there would be the old bay, waiting out the winter.
Yes.
Vito, we have to take a break, but Vito Pietanza of the South Brooklyn Gustatorial Society, enjoy tomorrow, One Woman Wines.
Thank you very much,
Nick,
Gianna, and you're welcome. Should your schedule change here, please
you are
just
wonderful.
show up here for dinner at my house.
It would be my absolute pleasure. I've had dinner before at the Pietanzas, and it is everything to squawk about. We'll be back here on the Gianna Volpe Report on 1390 WRIV, your hometown station.
An overhead door serves a purpose, and it should be as beautiful as the rest of your home or building. For more than 30 years, Village Overhead Doors has been creating and installing beautiful garage doors for contractors and homeowners on the North and South Forks. They also install automatic garage door openers that open with the click of a remote, so there's no getting out of the car in bad weather. For a wide range of styles, from lifetime steel doors to custom-made wood doors, and for all your garage door needs, please call 765-4963 today and find out how your garage door can be a beautiful focal point of your home or building's exterior. Village Overhead Doors of Southold, 765-4963. Make the call and let them add beauty and value to your home or business.
The Crazy Fork on the main road in Mattituck is the place for entertainment on the North Fork. From live comedy to music to the Revolution No. 9 variety shows, you'll have a good time. The Crazy Fork is comfy but classy, and the food is good. Whether you're looking for fish tacos or lobster mac and cheese, or a steak or seafood, you'll love the Crazy Fork. The Crazy Fork also serves homemade pizza and a sandwich for every taste. So don't stay home tonight. Come on out. Have some fun at the place for entertainment on the North Fork. The Crazy Fork. The Crazy Fork on the main road in Mattituck. Call 631-298-1100 for the Crazy Fork in Mattituck.